Howdy folks, welcome back to Dark Souls 2 Crown of the Old Brian King. His name's Brian. Little known fact. I've got all the inside scoop. I'm wired directly into From Software at all times. This is a boss video. Boss exclusive. We are going to fight the who? I just happened to pick up someone's souls here, who I guess someone else came through here before and fucked up. Little bonus for me. This, in case you can't read, is the Fume Knight. Fume Knight. And this guy, I have difficulty with. Might be because of the build nature of the character, but I'm just not particularly good at this guy, though. He employs a similar philosophy of it is better to roll instead of block for the most part, unless you have a great shield with perhaps fire properties on you. However, if you're more of a light shield user, then things are going to be a bit rough. The shield that I have is pretty good for a small shield, but this guy hits hard, and he will bust through your stamina quickly. Very quickly. So he's got the small sword for quick attacks, and then he uses the big one for a little finishing sweep, which covers quite a bit of a radius around him. Bigger than you might expect, so that can be a big surprise. It's nice that they put the bonfire so close to this area, because this took me, the first time I did this, quite a number of attempts. I felt like I just, it feels like a boss that shouldn't be that hard. One of those bosses that perhaps I'm making too hard for whatever reason. So when you get him down to around half health, he goes into his second phase. So he uses Flame Sword or something like that, or Dark Flames, or they can kind of look like Dark Flames from the first Dark Souls, though Dark Flames I don't believe exist in Dark Souls 2. Where's the lore behind that? Where's my Dark Flames, man? He's a little bit, maybe a smidge easier in his second phase, though the one attack I cannot quite get around is that circle of, not that circle of flame, but the one where he drives the sword into the ground. I can never roll through that, so I just tank it. It's easy to see coming, so you can just throw the shield in front of you and like that. Take the stamina drain. If your shield's adequate, you won't take a whole lot of damage. Once you get the hang of that time, you can roll through it, and then it's just getting the hang of the timing. Assuming you can get to the second phase, that's the hard part. You can get Steelheart Ellie to help you out, which is handy just for having a second character as a diversion form. It makes it much easier to roll around and whatnot. It's one of those bosses where it's safe is better than sorry. So, one poke, make sure you roll. If you get greedy enough to do 2 pokes, the boss is fast enough despite using the big weapons that, you'll probably get hit with the wait time between you doing the second attack and you rolling. It just gets into a big thing, and it's crazy. But that's the boss. We now have the crown of the old Irony King. I like how in the first DLC they had the humanoidish boss and Nassandra's sister, whose name I can't remember off the top of my head, and then they had the big dragon epic fight to cap it off. This one they don't have that so much. I like the journey to the end here, but the bosses, really all the bosses in the DLC, not quite feeling them as much. But the gameplay in general is fine. FYI. Rings that I missed, in case you're curious. If you're a magic caster, use it. A magic caster who rolls a lot, that is. That'd be quite a valuable asset. And then, of course, the crown itself. I should name my first child Icarus Earth. Emma is the most popular name this year. Icarus Earth. I'm going to make that the popular name of 2015. Yeah.